Hello and welcome to this Game Week 23 preview. So, Game Week 21 was a strange one. It was a few double game weeks. There were some players that did good, some players that did bad captaincy choices by me as always. This season's been strange. Who knows what's going to happen ahead of Game Week 23. 5 minutes before the deadline, we might get double Game Week fixtures announced. 5 minutes before the deadline, we might get cancellations. We don't know. That's how this season's going. So we're improvising, all of us. We're having on and off seasons. I'm having a bad season and I'm blaming it all down to all of these COVID cancellations. So let's preview Game Week 23 on this week's video. And let's start by looking at how I did last week in Game Week 22. So this is my team from Game Week 22. As you can see, the transfers F stands for free hit because last week I played my free hit. It was okay. 67 points is an okay score. It's a tiny green arrow. It's not a big enough green arrow to try and get my rank to somewhere respectable where I'd want it to be. But we go on. De Gea, 2 4s. I mean, no clean sheets, but he makes so many saves. I guess 8's an okay score from the keeper. Emerson, massively disappointed with Emerson. 1 point. Got substituted early, did nothing, didn't play. So he could have possibly had 2 games. His game got cancelled last minute, so he only had 1 game. Rudiger, I mean, I don't know why I went Rudiger. I had to go Rudiger really just because there were so few teams by that, because I played my free hit a few days before the deadline. And so many cancellations happened that Chelsea and Man United at the end were like, well, you need lots of team players. You need 3 players from Chelsea and Man United now, just because you've lost your Spurs double fixtures. You've lost probably your Wolves, your Watford, sorry. You've lost Job. You know, it was terrible. It was terrible, but I'd already free hitted, so had to play Rudiger. Didn't do much. Cucurella, 5's not bad. In midfield, I had Bowen and Jota as my ones who didn't have game weeks, but I thought they had good fixtures and they played. And Bowen, 7's a good return from him. Disappointed with Jota. Disappointed with Mount. Mount didn't play at all in the first goal. You think did he come off the bench? It's just all a blur. Did he come off the bench in the first game or did he just do nothing? I think he came off the bench and got 1 in the first game and got 2 in the second game. So Chelsea players just, I mean, in a way, I was glad that I played the free hit and I don't have to now keep Mount, Rudiger, Emerson, you know. And then I went Fernandes. Now, I was going to captain Fernandes and have Harry Kane. But then when the Tottenham news came out that it's likely that their game with Arsenal won't go ahead, I took Kane out, put Ronaldo in. Then I heard that there was rumours that Ronaldo's definitely going to play the first game. So I captained Ronaldo instead of Fernandes. And Fernandes obviously goes on and gets 23. Ronaldo doesn't play the first game and just gets a 2 in the second game. So a terrible captaincy decision. Mope and Lukaku, again, glad I don't have either of those two. Full-time, on the bench, peanuts. Peanuts on the bench. So yeah, that's how Game Week 22 did. This season is terrible. If you're also struggling, just follow me on Twitter and Instagram at -4points. Write in the comments below. Sympathize with me. Let's have this -4points channel now just become a kind of communal grieving process where those of us that aren't in the top 100k, we all come together and we grieve together about things like captaining Ronaldo and not Fernandes, and having Fernandes as vice captain and having Ronaldo as captain. And up until the last game, we still didn't know if Ronaldo would play. And I had this slight hope that Ronaldo might not play and my vice captain would be Fernandes and he'd get a great score. But no, not this season. Hopefully I'm just using all my bad luck this season and the other seasons are all going to be full of lucky game weeks. But Game Week 22 was an okay week. It was an okay free hit. We go on to Game Week 23. So before I go on to Game Week 23, I'm going to show you my watch list. These are players that haven't made my team this week, but who I'm keeping an eye on in the future. So this is my watch list for Game Week 23. So here it is. Here's the watch list for Game Week 23. The first one is Coutinho. Now, I know a lot of people will probably be getting in Coutinho this week, considering that it's Everton and Everton are struggling and they've just sacked their manager, so they're vulnerable possibly. And Coutinho scored on his debut and looks lively. I'm just giving it 1 extra week just because I think You never know. We don't fully know what kind of a manager Gerrard is. We don't know if he's going to throw Coutinho straight in now. We don't know if he'll slowly keep bedding him in. We don't know if Coutinho's got the match fitness the last 90 minutes yet. So I get why, if you're getting Coutinho this week, I get it. It's a good move. However, I'm just giving it another week just to be safe. The next one is Kane. Now, it seems like there's no premiums performing. De Bruyne, and that's it. So I think Kane is now kind of becoming this player where he's in a little bit of form. He scored in the last goal, and the way he took his finish suggested to me that's a Harry Kane who's confident. That's a Harry Kane who's got his scoring touch back. The reason I haven't put him in yet is because of how bad he's done the previous weeks. However, for me, he's firmly on the watch list now because the way he took that goal, the way Spurs somehow beat Leicester in a crazy game, suggests that Spurs are putting something together now. I don't think it's a case of Kane's just going to score this one time and Spurs got lucky. I think Spurs are slowly building something. They're going a little bit under the radar. Conte's doing something there. And I think if Kane's got his goal-scoring touch back, which it kind of looked like he had from that finish that he scored at the weekend, I think he's someone, especially because Lukaku looks off, Ronaldo looks off, Salah's still at AFCON, De Bruyne is a premium, but you could have De Bruyne and Kane. They could be the two premiums you go for, or you could just go Kane and go Foden at Man City, because Man City have so many attacking players that Foden and could easily, or Bernardo Silva, could easily make up for De Bruyne's points. So Kane's firmly on my watch list for the reasons that he's the best performing premium striker. That's simple now. Cornet is the next one on my watch list. Now, he's still at the AFCON, so it's still too early to get him in for, but he's just there on the watch list just to remind people that Burnley have 5 extra fixtures to fit in the schedule. So they're going to have, worst case scenario, 5 double game weeks. They could be a triple game week. So Burnley are going to have 5 extra fixtures to fit in. Now, you could go you could go Tarkowski, or you could go Cornet, or you could go Pope. So Cornet represents all 4 of those players on my watch list that I'm keeping an eye on for as soon as that Burnley first double game week fixture gets announced. I think you need a Burnley player. I know it's Burnley, and I know that they've been doing bad this year, but Cornet has been fairly lively, and I think if they get double game weeks, chances are, even if they lose and they score 1, Cornet is the guy that gets the 1 goal. And also they've lost Chris Wood, so Cornet is now even more important in an attacking sense. Unless Burnley sign another striker, Cornet is now really important. So I think when he comes back from AFCON, I'm looking at getting Cornet straight away. The next one on my list is Saint-Maximin. Now, he's got 2 good weeks in a row. So he's on my watch list because it's almost like I'm interested to see how Newcastle play with Wood. It seems almost like a great fit, Saint-Maximin and Wood. It's the classic old school little and large combination where you've got the big hold up powerful striker and you've got the little one nipping around him. So Saint-Maximin is on my list because I think he'll fit in well with Wood, and he's on my watch list because he's been doing really well in the last 2 weeks. Is he putting some form together? Are Newcastle going to put some form together to survive relegation, or is this just a little peak before the bluff? That's why I've not put him in because it could be a trough and not a peak. However, if the peak's not finished yet, I'm going with this peak and trough analogy, and you can't stop me. If this peak's going to keep going up, then Saint-Maximin's going to be on the peak. He's not going to be in the troughs. So, Saint-Maximin's on the watch list. And the last one is Fernandes. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I tried to get Fernandes in my team this week, and I just couldn't move the funds around. And I couldn't do it, and I just couldn't fit him in. So, he's on my watch list just because I wanted him in this week, and I didn't. Now, they have West Ham and then a sea of green fixtures. So, that's another reason why I didn't get Fernandes this week. Because I think if you get Fernandes this week, you've got to captain him. And the person I got this week, not spoiling it yet, saving a little bit of anticipation for you, the person I got this week is someone I'm going to captain. So I think if you're going to get Fernandes, you have to captain him. If you're going to get someone else and there are better captaincy options, I don't think you should be getting Fernandes, especially against West Ham, who, although they lost the last game, it's West Ham. West Ham never this season have been like 3 or 4 bad games in a row. They've always been 1 or 2 bad games and then they bounce back. And I think against Man United, West Ham will be up for it. Moyes will be up for it against his old team. I just see that being a bit of a low-scoring game, so I'm not going to get Fernandes this week, but I firmly want him possibly for next week. So, That's my watch list for Game Week 23. None of these players made my team. Let's have a look at who did make my team. And this is my team for Game Week 23. So this is the team. This is the band of idiots that are going to give me a frustrating score. I don't know how they're going to frustrate me yet. But Fantasy this season has had a wonderful way. Thank you, FPL. You've had a wonderful way of surprising me every week in ways of which I never realized who would depress me the most. So this is my team. It's a little bit strange having the free hit and then going back to my team and going, oh my God, I still have Antonio. I still have DCL. I still don't have Bowen. I still can't get Bowen easily because I've got 3 West Ham players. So this is my team. I wanted Bowen because I still don't have Bowen. However, they've got Manchester United away. And I don't think this is the best time for me to jump in and rush to get Bowen. So, De Gea is staying in goal. I'm still torn between the goalkeepers. It could be Sanchez because I just think West Ham are going to cause Man United problems. But De Gea, he makes a lot of saves. So even if they don't keep a clean sheet, he makes so many saves. He's made more saves than any other goalkeeper in the league this season. And saves equals points, people. That's the FPL rule. So for now, De Gea will be in goal. In defence, Trent, Cancelo and Alonso. Now, none of those have good games. Trent and Cancelo both away. And Alonso is Alonso. And Chelsea don't look great at the moment. And Tottenham look like they can score a goal. But I've got other fires to put out. So you can see my 2 transfers now. De Bruyne I brought in and Elanga I brought in. Now, they came in for Son and Smith Rowe, both who are injured. Smith Rowe's kind of injured. He could play, but he's also been on the bench lately for Arsenal. So I think I had to get Son and Smith Rowe out because my bench aren't going to play. Salah's at AFCON, and those 2 West Ham defenders don't play. So I needed to do a -4 this week. I know -4 points, and I don't always need to do -4 points, and it's a problem for me. And I know I have an addiction to doing too many transfers. However, I'm telling myself this week I needed to do 2 because I wouldn't have been able to field 11 players. So I needed to do 2 transfers to field 11 players. Go with me on this. I'm explaining my actions. And I really wanted De Bruyne. I think De Bruyne is prime captaincy choice this week. I think without Salah, De Bruyne has to be captain. I mean, he's in form. Man City look ruthless. And I think Southampton away, even though it's away, the way City are playing, I fancy City to still win and De Bruyne to be involved in the goals. So I wanted De Bruyne in and I wanted him as captain. I had to take out Son. I didn't have the funds to bring De Bruyne and not do another transfer for a -4. I could have taken Salah out. But at this point, I've kept Salah for so long. To take him out now is ridiculous because I'll probably have to get him back in 1 week or 2 weeks. So I've kept Salah this long. I might as well just keep him and save myself the transfer of bringing Salah back in whenever he's back. So it had to be Son. And I had to also get out Smith Rowe. Now, the only midfielders I could afford were, I think, under 6 million. So if you remember from my watch list, the ones I'm looking at, I need Bowen. I can't do that. I'd like Coutinho. I can't afford that. So I'm taking a punt here on Elanga. Now, it's a little bit of a crazy punt, I know. But, I mean, what have I got to lose at this season? My rank's not that great. What have I got to lose? So Elanga at 4.8 million. I feel like it's not an expensive punt. If it doesn't work out, I just bench him and he becomes a cheap bench player. Or I take him out later. Or a wild card next week, and this was just a punt. And if it doesn't work out, a wild card. Because I am thinking possibly about wild carding. I thought about it this week. But I think there could be double fixtures coming up soon. And I think I might want a wild card to take advantage of having the double fixtures on the first week when I wild card. So, I didn't wild card. I brought in De Bruyne and Elanga. Oh, I'm regretting it already a little bit. Should I change my mind? I could still wildcard. No, I'm not going to wildcard. So I'm going to take a punt on Elanga. He scored a goal. He looked confident. Maybe the manager will trust Elanga, give him lots of game time, and he'll do amazing. That's my tactics. That's what I'm rolling the dice on. I think Jota will be good. That was me rolling the dice, by the way. Just to clarify, I'm rolling the dice on Elanga. Jota against Palace, that could be good. Martinelli, I think, will be very good against Burnley. I think if you've still got Arsenal players, you want as many Arsenal players as possible against Burnley at home. I think Martinelli, I'd love to have Martinelli, Lacazette back, and Tierney. I'd love to have those. Ramsdale in goal. But I've only got Martinelli, so Martinelli, I'm hoping Martinelli gives me some good points. Broja, not expecting anything. Antonio, maybe, possibly expect a goal or an assist. And I've got a sneaky hope that Everton might be better because they got rid of Rafa. Duncan Ferguson's going to come in temporarily and surely Big Dunk is going to give them a big kick. And DCL, Villa at home, I mean, he could do something. Maybe, surely, definitely, not definitely, but that's my secret hope. So I've got secret hopes for Elanga and DCL this week. I'm not hoping much from the rest of the players, and I'm kind of relying on De Bruyne and Martinelli and Jota to kind of step up and deliver in games that on paper, all three of those should deliver. Elanga's the gamble. Those other three midfielders should do well. However, who knows? It's FPL. It'll find a way of disappointing me this season. It'll find a way of making me depressed. So that's my team for game week 23. I pretty much used all my funds. -4 points. We're staying on brand. That's my video for this week. Let me know how you're doing in the comments on Twitter, on Instagram. I hope you're having more fun than me. I hope at least I can provide some kind of entertainment and some kind of how not to guides in my videos. We go on. There's still some game weeks left. There's still more than 10 game weeks left. There's time for me to save and make a fairly respectable finish to the season. I'm still in with a shout of some of my mini leagues, so we're having fun. Maybe. Ish. We're having fun-ish. So, that's my video for this week. Thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next game week.